Hi, in this video we're going to look at how you can assign CAMI assignments in Schoology using their new assessment mode feature. Before you can get started, one thing you do have to remember is you must have the CAMI extension installed on your browser so that you will have the ability to assign CAMI assignments through Schoology. You can find that by Googling CAMI extension for Chrome or Googling CAMI extension for Edge if it's not already on your device. So let's get started. So first I'm going to decide where I want to put my CAMI assignment. Let's say this is going to be a homework assignment. And I'm going to click on the green dotted line so I can ensure it goes in this folder. And you will now see an option that says CAMI. This is different than the way we used to assign CAMI assignments, but it's simpler and it's also simpler for the students to submit using this method. So I'm going to go ahead and click on CAMI. And this is going to now ask me which library do I want to find my document in. So all of my files are in OneDrive. So I'm going to search for my OneDrive for the document that the students are going to be working on. And then once this loads, I can navigate to the specific document. Once I've located the document that I want my students to annotate on with CAMI, I'm going to go ahead and select it. So this is already a PDF. It happened to be a Word document or PowerPoint. CAMI will accept it. It will just do a conversion for you. And then I'm going to come over here to where it says title, and I'm going to retitle this so that it makes more sense for the students when they click on it. So I'm going to put homework for 4:30. And now below here, you're going to have some features that are fairly new to CAMI. And you have a feature called assessment mode. So in this mode, once a student has submitted their work and they've completed this assignment through Schoology, they will not be able to make any changes to it. This is different than the previous model of CAMI. Once a student submitted their work, it was submitted. However, it put a copy of it in their OneDrive, and they were still able to make changes on that OneDrive location of their document, and these changes would then be reflected on the teacher end. So the students still had some editing rights even if it was past the due date. When we use assessment mode, the students can't do this. They will not see their document until you have actually graded it and looked at it, and then they will be able to see it. So you have that option here you can check off now. And also if you want to select a due date, if you want a due date, select a due date and students will not be able to submit it after the due date, this is a good option for you, because what happens is right after the due date, if the student hasn't submitted it or they've worked on it and haven't finished it, it's going to submit it on their behalf. So that is an option here if you choose to do so. Control features you also have now. So the control features means all of the different CAMI tools that by default they have access to. So you can see here, these are all the different tools, comments and writing and drawing, text box tools. If there's anything that you do not want them to have access to, you can uncheck that, and these are some other support features here as well. And again, by default, these will always be on. So I'm going to click OK. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck due date because I'm not going to use that setting right now, and I'm going to click Continue. So now this is all ready for our students to utilize, and I will go on as a student just so you can see the process of student submission and how much easier it is. So now we're looking at our course from a student login perspective. So the student now can go into the weekly homework folder where I assigned that CAMI assignment. And now when you create a CAMI assignment using this new method, it will be represented by the CAMI insignia here. So all they'll need to do is click on the name of the document, and the CAMI assignment is now going to load inside the Schoology framework. So if you remember beforehand, CAMI would actually open up into a new window, and some students would get confused as to the whole submission process because it took them out of Schoology. That is no longer the case if you use this method. So I'm going to click Authorize Microsoft. This is just ensuring that the student is who they say they are. And then once it's been verified, now the student has all the tools available to them, and they can annotate on top of this document and do whatever they need to do with this document. So they can do their writing features and draw all over it, etc. If they don't complete it in one setting, all of this information is going to be saved, so they could exit out of this and then they could come back to their Schoology course and go back into the weekly homework, reopen it again, and anything that they have done here will be saved. However, once they're done with this, all they'll need to do now is click Submit. Now, the previous version of Kami, there was a number of different steps to this. They had to turn it in and submit, and then it would kind of jump them back to Schoology. So much simpler with this method. So once they're done with it, all you need to do is click Submit. It'll ask them to just verify this, and then verify again, because they will no longer have access to this once they submitted it. They're not going to have access to it in their OneDrive. It's not going to put a copy in there. And then I'm going to click Submit. So it says, well done, your work has been turned in, and that's really all there is to it.